Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of property in, well, what many spell as Phuket, but we'll be pronouncing as Phuket throughout our discussion. It's how it's often said locally. And this isn't just any picturesque travel spot, It's a truly dynamic real estate market, always evolving, almost like a living thing. Our source material for today is this incredibly insightful article. It's titled Phuket Property, A Shifting Balance of Supply and Demand. And what's particularly interesting, I think, is that this piece comes from Ocean Worldwide, their luxury real estate agency, and they've been based right there in Phuket since, 2004. Sandra O'Neill, she's their director, and the article highlights how she's helped literally thousands of families and property investors navigate this complex market over the years. So it's really clear Ocean Worldwide is, deeply rooted. They focus specifically on luxury residential real estate across Phuket and also Koh Samui. Our mission today really is to distill the most important nuggets from this analysis, give you a clear, concise picture of what's truly going on in this unique market and, well, why it matters.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how clearly this article lays out the current dynamics. It's almost like a real-time snapshot, isn't it? A market in constant motion. It's not just reporting facts, it's, I feel, revealing a fundamental power shift happening right now. So yeah, this piece is a great foundation, really helps understand both the current state and the significant future potential of real estate in Phuket. And as we go through this, maybe think about what stands out to you, the listener. Perhaps it's a trend you've seen somewhere else, or maybe a surprising detail about Phuket itself that kind of challenges your assumptions.
Okay, so let's dive into that core concept the article emphasizes, this seesaw of supply and demand in the Phuket property market. It sounds like right now that seesaw is tipped pretty heavily.
Oh, absolutely. It really is. And on that seesaw, the supply side, it's heavily weighted by condominiums, like really heavily. They make up roughly 83% of the residential units available right now.
83%. Wow.
Yeah. To put that in perspective, that's almost like, 8 out of every 10 properties you'll find are condos.
Yeah.
Which, fundamentally impacts pricing and the choices buyers have. But it's not just condos. We're also seeing a noticeable increase in landed property options, things like villas and townhouses. These seem to be getting quite popular, especially with families, maybe long-term residents, looking for more space, more privacy.
Makes sense.
And if you're looking at, say, a decent 3 to 4 bedroom villa in areas like Rawai, you can expect to pay upwards of 15 to 24 million Thai baht.
Okay.
That's roughly $500,000 to maybe $750,000 US dollars. So substantial. Now, this whole market is actually softening a bit, and that's because of this massive influx of new inventory. Developers launched a lot of projects earlier in the year, leading to this huge increase in supply. The article highlights over 40,000 residential units becoming available across the island.
40,000, that's a lot.
It's huge. I mean, think about it. That's enough new homes to nearly double the size of a small town, all hitting the market around the same time. And this massive supply, it isn't just likely to put pressure on prices. It's really creating a fundamental power shift from developers to buyers. It's forcing innovation in how properties are marketed, what value adds are offered. Something we haven't really seen at this scale in Phuket before. And we connect this to the bigger picture. It's clear Phuket's real estate market has emerged as a really key economic driver right alongside tourism. I mean, branded residences alone are valued at over 2.3 billion US dollars.
That's a staggering number, 2.3 billion. And speaking of shifts, you mentioned the power shift, but here's where it gets really interesting for me. Phuket's property scene isn't just about those, idyllic beachfront villas anymore. There's a significant transformation happening, pushing development inland.
That's a critical point, absolutely. The focus is definitely shifting towards inland growth. And this move, it seems driven by a desire for better infrastructure, maybe a more urban integrated lifestyle. It's attracting families, long-term residents who want convenience, amenities, maybe further from the bustle of the coast.
Right, convenience.
Yeah, and infrastructure projects are kind of the unsung heroes here. For instance, improved road networks are making areas like Pak much more accessible and therefore more attractive. And the new Bumrungrad Medical Center, that's drawing attention to Muang Mai as potentially a new hub. It's all about connectivity and accessibility these days, isn't it? It's spreading development out, creating new opportunities across the entire island, not just its edges. We're also seeing a diversification of what's being offered, property types. Developers are becoming, far more selective, moving away from just mass market projects to focus on specific buyer groups. And there's increased competition in the resale market too, which maybe surprisingly is making things like after-sales service and mixed-use developments really important.
Mixed use,
Yeah.
like combining homes and shops.
Exactly. Combining residential, commercial, leisure spaces.
Yeah.
It's about offering a complete lifestyle, not just four walls. Right now, the numbers are around 40,600 residential units for sale, about 343 active developments. And those branded properties, they're absolutely leading the way in terms of pricing and, frankly, desirability.
Okay, you mentioned branded properties or branded residences a couple of times. When we talk about that, what exactly does that mean for a potential buyer beyond just, a higher price tag?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, it's more than just price. When we talk about branded residences, we're basically referring to homes, often condos or villas, that are tied to a well-known luxury brand, usually a hotel chain like a Marriott or a Four Seasons, maybe even a high-end fashion label sometimes. So this means you're not just buying the physical property. You're buying access to five-star hotel services. Think concierge, in-home dining, maybe spa access, housekeeping, all integrated into your living space. It's this unique blend of private ownership with these unparalleled luxury services. And that's really why they command those premium prices and, importantly, often retain their value so well, they appeal to a very specific, very discerning buyer.
Right, got it. So with this huge surge in available properties, over 40,000 units, you said, and this shift in where things are being built, what does this all mean for someone looking to buy or sell right now? This definitely changes the game.
It absolutely does, changes it significantly. That sheer volume, over 40,000 residential units expected by mid-2025, it just intensifies competition among sellers dramatically, which means buyers have significantly more options, more choice. And that naturally puts downward pressure on prices. It's truly becoming a, quote, buyer's market in some segments.
Especially condos.
Especially for those mid-range condos, yeah. That's where the oversupply seems most pronounced. So for the rest of 2025, sellers, they'll need to be much more strategic with pricing, with marketing, maybe offer incentives, really emphasize unique selling points. On the flip side, buyers, they'll have more negotiating power probably and a wider selection of properties to choose from than maybe ever before in Phuket. And as we just discussed, interestingly, those branded properties like the signature Balinese villas mentioned in the article, they might hold their value better, precisely because of that perceived quality and the exclusive lifestyle they offer.
Okay, so despite these pretty significant shifts in the current supply-side pressure, the long-term view of Phuket's market still seems surprisingly positive, based on the article. What's driving that underlying resilience? It feels like there's a strong current beneath the surface noise.
That's the fascinating paradox here, isn't it? You've got this short-term adjustment, but the long-term fundamentals seem strong. Phuket benefits from several really robust long-term demand generators. You've got a thriving tourism sector that continues to rebound, post-pandemic. There's a growing expat community choosing the island for lifestyle reasons. And also increasing interest from Thai nationals themselves looking for holiday homes, maybe investment properties outside of Bangkok. These factors combine to create a remarkably resilient market structurally. So when we look at the long-term potential for investors, things like tourism, lifestyle migration, the rise of digital nomads, they're all playing a crucial part. They're making Phuket a truly international community. The market isn't just growing, it feels like it's maturing. And it's adapting to global trends too. We're seeing a noticeable shift towards more sustainable development, smart home features, flexible living spaces, things that cater to a modern lifestyle. And those infrastructure improvements we touched on earlier, they're having a really tangible impact on value and yield. The article suggests improved road access can lead to maybe a 5–10% property value increase. Proximity to new medical facilities like Bumrungrad could boost rental yield by a significant 8–12%. And airport expansion, directly linked to maybe a 7% increase in tourism-related property investment.
Wow, those are specific numbers.
Yeah, they really quantify the impact. In terms of supply trends, just to revisit that quickly, while the oversupply in mid-range condos continues, there seems to be a scarcity of new project launches. Developers are, wisely perhaps, focusing on selling their existing inventory. So while existing stock is gradually being absorbed, it's just happening at a slower pace than the initial additions, which is why we're in this period of oversupply right now.
Okay, that makes sense on the supply side. But beyond that, let's talk about the key players on the demand side. Who are the buyers, and what does this landscape mean for potential investors considering Phuket right now?
Right. The demand side is pretty diverse. Interestingly, the Thai government has actually implemented incentives for local buyers. Things like reduced transfer fees, mortgage interest rate subsidies, making ownership more accessible for Thai nationals.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, but we're also definitely seeing foreign demand picking up again, especially from Europe, other parts of Asia, Australia. This seems influenced by, ease travel restrictions, maybe some global economic recovery, and critically, exchange rates can play a big role. And for many of these buyers, foreign and local, buying in Phuket isn't just about a spreadsheet investment. It's deeply tied to lifestyle.
Right, the dream.
Exactly. A holiday home, a permanent residence in a tropical paradise. And this drives demand for villas and apartments with those views, the amenities, alongside, of course, the potential for long-term capital appreciation. So factors like proximity to beaches, the overall quality of life, safety, potential rental income, these are key decision makers. And as we mentioned, it is a buyer's market in certain segments, like those mid-range condos. That offers more choice, more bargaining power.
So haggle away.
Well, it certainly creates potential for price negotiation. Buyers shouldn't be afraid to uh, make a reasonable offer. It's always smart to research comparable properties, maybe identify any flaws or needed repairs, and always be prepared to walk away if the deal isn't right. And this is where a good local real estate agent, like, the folks at Ocean Worldwide who produce this source material, becomes invaluable. They guide you through those nuances.
Mhm.
But crucially, due diligence is absolutely essential for buyers. Non-negotiable. You need to meticulously check the land title, verify building permits, get a thorough legal review of all contracts. I can't stress this enough. Get a thorough building inspection. Highly recommended to avoid any nasty surprises down the line. So the bottom line is the current market, if you approach it carefully with expert local advice, it truly presents a strategic entry point for investors looking for potentially undervalued properties and focusing on those long-term gains.
It really sounds like Phuket's property market is, well, growing up, becoming more sophisticated than just a simple vacation hotspot. But what about the bigger picture? The external forces at play, those global currents that could affect this maturing market.
Absolutely. Maturing is the right word. It's becoming more integrated. We're seeing a surge in new retail and lifestyle projects, boutique shopping centers, entertainment complexes, adding to the island's appeal beyond just places to live. Those mixed-use developments we talked about are becoming increasingly popular, combining residential, commercial, leisure, offering convenience, building a real sense of community.
Yeah, that seems key.
It is. And developers are really focusing on integrating extensive amenities, not just pools and gyms, but maybe co-working spaces, nice restaurants, parks, concierge services, all designed to enhance quality of life and make developments more attractive. This is all part of that evolution we mentioned. From a traditional beach-centric market, areas like Rawai, Kata, Keron, Batam, to a more urbanized, distributed environment. And that shift inland, it's directly facilitated by the improved infrastructure, drawing people who want convenience and amenities away from maybe the more traditional tourist zones. Developers are also, as we said, becoming more selective, targeting specific buyer demographics. And again, those branded properties, they're setting new benchmarks for pricing, design, service. They're leading the way at the top end. Now, as for those external forces, yes, they definitely play a role. Global geopolitical uncertainty, for instance. Conflicts, trade wars. That can make international investors nervous, right? Especially affecting, say, luxury condo investment. Exchange rates also have a massive impact for foreign buyers. A stronger Thai baht makes property more expensive in their home currency and vice versa. Simple as that, but huge implications.
Yeah, crucial factor.
And of course, overall buyer confidence is always key. How people feel about the economy, the future. Finally, the tourism sector's role. It's a direct relationship. High tourism numbers fuel demand for holiday homes, for investments. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It brings revenue, vitality, but it also makes the market somewhat vulnerable to external shocks if tourism suddenly drops off for some reason.
Right. Okay, so to sum it all up then, the Phuket property market is certainly in a fascinating balancing act right now. A truly dynamic beast, as you called it. We've seen this surge in new supply, especially condos, which is undeniably giving buyers a real edge, shifting that power dynamic we discussed.
Yeah, it really is shifting. And this raises, I think, an important question for you, the listener. Given all these complexities we've unpacked about Phuket's evolving landscape, from its fundamental shift inland and the transformative impact of infrastructure to the intricate role of global factors and this growing focus on integrated lifestyle, what specific aspect of this complex beast do you think offers the most compelling long-term opportunity? Whether you're thinking about investment or maybe just finding a place to live?
That's a great question to ponder. It really comes down to staying informed and making smart choices.
Yeah.
As our source from Ocean Worldwide wisely advises, What part of today's deep dive sparked your own aha moment about how dynamic and how nuanced these real estate markets truly are?